Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm out here in the barnyard and I'm gonna try to fix this fence here. You can see how loose this woven wire fence is. And this was my first piece of fencing that I ever put up, pretty much. And you can tell I didn't get it tensioned properly or stretched properly. And the goats, they like to get in here and rub on it too, so that kind of helps stretch it out as well. But the funny thing is it looks really saggy like this in the summertime. And in the wintertime, when it gets cold, the metal kind of condenses and everything looks fairly straight. It may not be the tightest, but it's a lot straighter than it is right now. But I didn't get this tensioned correctly. It's really my fault. And when I did this, I didn't do everything 100% right. I actually stretched it past the end post, and then I stapled the wire down tight. Then I cut it loose and then wrapped it around. And today I'm going to try to re-stretch or repair this fence and try to tighten it back up. So you saw me, I was pulling all the staples out so that this slip knot, where you tie it back off to this post, so the slip knot will work properly. And then I also went and I loosened the other staples I had tightened down too tight all the way down, and I loosened them up enough that the fence will slide through it now. So what I'm going to use to try to tension this is I'm going to try to use a gripple tool. It's a splicing tool that allows you to tighten the splice. So I'm going to try to do that. But to do it, I'm going to have to actually put in a new piece of fence in here. I'm going to put in a little bitty piece of fence, probably only 2-3 foot long, and patch it in here, and then try to re-tension it with the gripples and see if I can get this piece of fencing tight. So right here is where I'm planning on patching in a new section of fence. When I put this water hydrant in, I bent this all up with the backhoe anyway. I got into the fence accidentally. So this will be a good place to cut out and patch in that new section. The bottom wire of the fence is buried, so I'm just trying to get it exposed. All right, got my fence completely loose to the post. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and strip out a small piece of fence so I can fit it in here. So I've got my short piece of fence here. So I'm going to go ahead and strip this out. So to strip this out, I'm going to cut these verticals so that I can take them off the horizontals. All right, so we're going to unwind these two wires so they separate. And then take a set of pliers, grab it, and then bend this one back to, stretch it out a little bit so it slides off easier. A little bit time consuming to strip this fence out. Sometimes it don't take very much to make it slide off a lot easier. Maybe just even a quarter or half a turn. So I've got my scrap piece of fence all stripped out. I stripped out one vertical on this side. I stripped out two verticals on this side. So this is the side I'm going to put the gripple on, and I'll be tensioning from this side. So I want to make sure I had long enough wire to be able to, tighten everything up. And on the other side, I'm just going to use a regular fence splice. Just use a fence splice to splice it onto the existing fence. So instead of cutting this whole fence loose, it'll all fall to the ground. I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the top and bottom wire, and I'm going to splice those two wires on first and then tension them up slightly with the gripple, get it to where everything's going to stay hanging, and then I'll cut the rest of the fence out and start splicing in the rest of these wires. So let's go ahead and give it a shot and see if it works. So I got about a 4.5 inch overlap. Go ahead and cut that top wire. Hopefully that's enough. See if we can get a gripple to slide on that or not. May not. Okay, that ought to be enough. I may have went too far. Oh, it just keeps sliding down further. Well, I should have gave myself a little extra space. Lesson learned. So I ran into a little bit of a problem here. I slid the gripple on it too far, and now I can't get it to go in. Actually, while I was trying to push this wire into this, it slid back too far away. And there's a tool that you can use to release it. I don't have it, but I do have a 1/16 inch drill bit, and it seems to fit in here. So we're going to try it. See if I can get that to go in. Yeah, there we go. Get it released. Now maybe I can get this together without it moving on me. There we go. Perfect. Got the gripple tool here. It needs to lock into this piece like that. And then need to get the wire. Get the wire in here. All right. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Now I'm going to go ahead and start tightening this wire up. Yes, so this wrench is actually a torque wrench, and I've only got it set to 200 foot-pounds. There, clicked. So 200 foot-pounds of tension on that right now. Hopefully that doesn't come apart. I don't have much wire sticking out on this side. That may be a mistake. So far, just that one top wire is tightened, and that seems to be holding pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of the fence. I think it'll stay up just fine. All right, there's my mangled piece of fence. Now I'll go ahead and just get all my splices put on here. I know somebody's going to ask me, what the heck am I using to splice this together? These are not a typical high tension splice. These are a Dare brand quick splice, and they're made for smooth and galvanized and woven wire. That's what it says on the package, at least. Doesn't necessarily say high tension, but it does say woven wire. You just gotta crimp them several times. You can get about 5 crimps on here. They seem to hold all right. All right, we're gonna see if we can put this gripple on and not screw it up, not go too far. Pretty easy. Once it starts sliding, pretty easy. I'll bend this out a little bit. Get that in there. There we go. I need my tensioning wire to be on this side. Okay. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Got a little bit more of a tail, not too much, but I got a little tail. All right, let's see if we can tighten these up just a little bit. Okay, a little tighter. Okay, this one has the shortest tail because I could not get that one to move. It's too close to the knot, but still enough to grab it. Now I'm not torquing these yet, I am just snugging them up. So now that I got all the gripples installed, I'm just gonna go back and snug each one of them up. One thing I've noticed is when you do tension it, it takes about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of slack back out of it for it to grab. So you gotta realize that's gonna happen, I guess. So you kind of over tighten it and then it loosens up just a little bit as it snugs down and grabs. I think I'm fairly happy with the way this is. It's nice and tight. So I'm gonna leave about 4 to 5 inches on here. Cut it off. You gotta have, one thing I've learned so far is you gotta have at least 4 inches for that tool to grab it. Don't sell yourself short. So obviously I should have stripped this one out a little bit more so I had more of a tail on this side. So this is a learning experience for me, first time using it, trying to figure out the ins and outs. So I'm definitely need to strip out both sides a little bit more. And then the other thing is I really need that tool. I got to get that tool to loosen those up. That drill bit didn't actually work very well. It got me through the day. It got me by, but I need to buy the real release tool for this because inevitably you're going to push it too far one way or the other. And you're going to want to move it around a little bit. Last thing to do is just put the T-post clips on. Man, that is a good tight fence right now. So I'm using these lock jaws, spring loaded basically T-post clips. There we go, it's on there. Oh yeah, man, that is tight. That is a very tight fence. In fact, I may have got it too tight. It's such a short run, I may have not, I may have overdid it a little bit. So this is my first time messing with gripples today. So I've learned a few things. This is kind of an experiment for me to get used to them, to see if I like them or not, because I was planning on using them as I was doing my pasture fencing out here. And to do a splice like this, I needed to strip out more for sure. I needed probably at least 12 inches of bare wire on each side so you could stick it through the gripple and be able to get the tail. You wanted probably at least 5-inch tail to be able to get into the tool and be able to tighten. And then I also didn't have that little release tool to be able to release the gripple so you can slide it up and down the wire. And I used a drill bit and it didn't work very well. In fact, I ended up losing it today. It went flying and I never could find it. I got the magnet out and I was trying to find it. So it may be out there in the grass out there. But drill bit didn't work very well, but it got me through. So I need to definitely buy the correct tool for that. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think I like it. I like the idea of it. They're reusable. So, you know, you could always cut them out and then pull them off and reuse them. And they are always like a place to tighten the fence. So if this gets loose again, I can just come out here and tighten some of these and tighten it back up. So it's, yeah, I think it's like having a built-in tensioner in the fence. So I like that capability. But this isn't the cheapest thing in the world to be able to do. These are, I think, in the quantity I bought them in, they vary in price, but I think I got these for about $1.25 a piece. And there's about 13 of them because of all the vertical strands in this sheep and goat fence. And I think that's about a $20 splice, plus all the other crimps off that other side. So, you know, I may have about $30 in splicing and refixing this fence today. So the tool I was using today was the gripple torque tool. And if you look at this, you can see that it actually is a torque wrench. It's got an adjustable knob down here, and you can adjust the torque on it. And I had it down here at the lowest setting of 200 foot-pounds. So definitely be able to tension up a fence, I think, with this thing. The awkward thing about it is it's really short handled, so you don't have much leverage. So doing 200 pounds was really, got to put some pretty good force on it to get it to even do the minimum setting. I don't know why they, you know, if you had longer arms on it, it'd be way more easier. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the way the whole fence turned out. It did tension up well. I think it'll work just fine on longer runs for sure. So definitely planning on using this when we do our pasture fencing here pretty soon. So anyway, I think that's it for today, guys. Just thought I'd show you what I was trying to do and try to learn how to use the gripples while tightening this fence back up and making it look good. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.